All right, let's talk about Git. It's one of the most powerful tools out there for anyone who makes things on a computer. But yeah, it can seem a little intimidating at first. Stick with me though, because I promise we're going to demystify it and you'll see why it's a skill you really can't live without.
You know, this quote from our source material just hits the nail on the head. Learning Git isn't just about picking up another program. It's about completely changing the way you work, the way you experiment, and how you protect your projects. It really is like giving yourself a superpower.
So, how are we going to make this all click? Simple. We're going to throw out the complicated technical jargon and explain the whole thing using a concept you already know like the back of your hand: saving your progress in a video game.
Okay, so let's start with the big question. What even is Git? Well, at its heart, it is the most advanced, most reliable save point system ever created. And it's not just for code. You can use it for anything. A novel you're writing, a design project, you name it.
The first piece of lingo you've got to know is repository, or what everybody just calls a repo. Just think of it as the master save folder for your game. The cool part is, it doesn't just hold your latest save, it holds the entire history of every single save point you have ever made.
This slide really breaks it down. Your project folder, where all your files actually live, that's the game world you're playing in. When you start using Git, it creates this special, hidden folder inside that acts as the master save directory, keeping your entire history safe.
Now, what's interesting here is that saving is a very deliberate, two-step process. First, you use git add to choose exactly which changes you want to include in this particular save. It's like gathering your loot before you save the game. Then, git commit, that's the moment you actually hit the save button, and give it a name, something clear like defeated the dragon, so you know exactly what you accomplished.
Okay, saving is cool, but this is where we get into the truly revolutionary stuff. If commit is your save system, then branching is where you get your superpower. Honestly, this is what makes Git so incredible.
Imagine this. You're at a super critical part of a game. You want to try some wild, risky strategy against a tough boss, but you are terrified of overwriting your main save file if it all goes horribly wrong. What do?
Well, the answer is a branch. A branch is basically a parallel universe for your project. You can create a perfect copy of your project's timeline at any moment, go off and experiment in that totally separate reality, and your main original timeline stays completely safe and untouched.
And here's the bottom line. Branching gives you a safety net for total experimentation. You can try to fix a bug, build a crazy new feature, or just mess around with an idea in complete isolation. If it works, you merge it back in. If it's a total disaster, who cares? You just delete the branch. No harm done. That ability is Git's real superpower.
Okay, quick timeout. We have to clear up something that confuses everyone at first. Git versus GitHub. They are not the same thing. Think of it like this. Git is the software on your computer. It's the game itself, managing all your local saves. GitHub is an online service. It's the cloud platform where you upload those saves to back them up and share them with your friends.
All right, you get the core ideas now. So what does the actual controller layout look like? The great news is you only need to master a handful of commands to do like 90% of everything you'll ever need. Let's take a look.
Let's think of these commands as your in-game moves. Git status, that's your HUD, your heads-up display. It just tells you what's going on. Add and commit, we covered those, that's your save combo. Push and pull are how you upload to and download from the cloud. And git branch, well, that's your special move, the one that creates those parallel universes. See? That's pretty much it.
Theory is great and all, but Git is a hands-on skill. You learn it by doing. So, to wrap this all up, let's lay out your very first training quest, a simple set of missions to get you started and build that muscle memory.
Your first mission is super simple. You're going to create a new folder, turn it into a Git repo with Git in it, make a new file, and then use that add, commit, and push workflow we talked about. This will make your first save and upload it to your GitHub account. This is the fundamental cycle you'll use constantly. Once you've done that a few times, it's time for the branching challenge. Here, you'll create a branch, switch to it, make a change, save that work, and then merge it back into your main project. This is where you'll really feel that aha moment and see the true power of working in a safe experimental space.
So what's the most important takeaway from all of this? It's that you don't master Git by watching videos or reading articles. You master it by doing. Use it every single day for every little project. That consistent practice is what turns this knowledge into a real skill, and eventually into your superpower.
We've covered the core concepts, the key commands, and your first missions. You basically have the map to get started. So, the only question left is, are you ready to go out there and unlock your superpower?